All right. What's going on, Bunker Labs? This is Will Crane here. I am joined by John Doan, who's in Minneapolis. I am out in Los Angeles, California right now. And John is the founder of Mobility for All. So, John, let me just get a quick intro, quick backstory on you. Well, first, how's it going? How are things with you?
Hey, Will. Hey, Bunker family. This is John Doan in Minneapolis. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Mobility for All. We are the safer, kinder, more personalized ride service for seniors. And, in light of everything that's happening in our world, we are doing fine. My immediate family is healthy, which is a blessing. And our business is weathering the storm. We are going to make it through it. At least that's the plan here. We're going to work hard and do whatever we can to make sure that our customers and our seniors are well taken care of during this time of need, particularly because they're the most vulnerable population to COVID-19. All that said, I see brighter days ahead. This is something that we're all taking very seriously, and it's impacting not only our everybody around the world, and of course here in the U.S., and of course each of you personally. But I really see that the economics of not only our business but of our economy are good. We have great talent. We've got people who are entrepreneurial, as evidenced by Bunker Labs and the people that have gone through the Launch Lab, which we were very fortunate to have been a participant in and to be a member of the Bunker family. I think the economics are good and strong, and so we're just looking forward to, whether it's 3 or 6 months out, to returning to a new normal and really hitting it out of the ballpark.
Have you been more or less busy during this period?
It depends on how you define busy. Busier in that we've had to do a lot of contingency planning and figuring out what this uncertain future, and again, what this new normal is going to look like in a post-COVID-19 world. From a revenue and ridership perspective, we've seen a reduction of over 50% of our rides, depending on the day, and our revenues have proportionally gone down as well. Will, you asked earlier about kind of the origin story for Mobility for All, but maybe before we jump into the details about Mobility for All and how we're doing as a business, just to provide some context. First and foremost, I identify myself as a refugee from Vietnam. I was raised by a single mom and my older brother, Roy. We came to the United States when I was 5, and growing up, my mom worked 2 jobs, put herself through community college, and raised 2 boys on her own, which meant that we were latchkey kids. So my brother took care of me. He was the one that walked me home every day. He taught me how to ride a bike. When I turned 16, he was the one that taught me how to drive because he was already 18. And he was the first to go off to college. And I followed in his footsteps out east to Carnegie Mellon, and then got my master's at Harvard. Shortly after that, in our mid-30s, my brother was diagnosed with dementia and MS. And then soon after that, my mom lost her sight due to glaucoma and macular degeneration. It turned my world upside down as the person who was benefiting from their caregiving. All of a sudden, over a short number of years, I became their caregiver. And the biggest challenge that I found once we stabilized housing and healthcare was transportation. It's something that changes every day with the weather. It changes every day with if a bus route or if someone's not available. And that's why we created Mobility for All, is to help people like my mom and my brother who are dependent on others because they can't drive. But yet we want them to live a full and active life.
That's a compelling reason to start this business, and I'm blown away. Thank you
Well,
for
Will,
sharing.
most people may not know, but I'll ask you. Guess how many uh, baby boomers retire every day in the United States, counting today, tomorrow, and for the next 10 years?
I'm probably gonna get that number wrong. How many?
10,000
10,000
every
every
day.
day.
10,000 boomers are retiring every day in the US. And
Hmm.
um, the statistics are that if you are 65 or older, that you're
Mhm.
likely 55% likely, so more than half, are
Mhm.
likely to have some disability that prevents them from driving, whether it's maybe some challenges driving at night because of vision,
Mhm.
or because they may not have the reflexes and the reaction times that you and I have, so it's not
Mhm.
safe to drive.
Yeah.
Um, and so that means more than 1 out of 2 people who are 65 and older shouldn't be driving for their own safety and for the safety of others. And so how do they continue to live full
Mm.
life? If,
Right.
I know that for my mom, up until the point where she was driving home one night and ran into a curb and thought that she'd actually hit a person,
Hmm.
that's when she stopped driving, when she got that scared
Yeah.
that she'd actually hurt somebody because she was driving. Um, it shouldn't take, some sort of huge traumatic incident like that, but there are a lot of people who want to stay active and don't want to
Mhm.
lose that freedom, but yet it's probably not the safest thing for them to drive. So
Hmm.
what's the alternative for them? What we've done is we've built an organization and a company. uh, we call it Mobility for All, and mo for short,
Mo.
that addresses that exact issue. It is a door-through-door service that we have fully vetted and trained care drivers. We also have a call center and a customer service so that people can get support. We also include a caregiver in every step of the trip, so
Mm.
that whether it's you for your parents, or it's the front desk person or the activities director at a senior community, they can help that individual manage the trip. So that's a little bit about Mobility for All. We're super excited to be in business, although this whole COVID-19 stuff is putting a bit of a gloom on the next couple of months.
Mhm.
We see coming out of it pretty quickly, hopefully this summer, once everything goes back to a new norm.
Yeah. I hope that happens sooner. So what sorts of things do you, how are you spending your time right now on your business? Or what, better question would be, what tips, I guess, would you give to other entrepreneurs right now who are, having to kind of weather this storm a little bit of, business slowing down, revenue slowing down? What, what would you say to somebody else, maybe from the Bunker Labs network?
So first of all, I'm with you. We're with you. Bunker Labs is with you. I think we're all in this together. Um, you know, from a business standpoint, I've been reminded that if you've got a good business idea and a good business model, it was a good business model pre-COVID-19, and it's still a good business model during COVID-19, and it'll be a good business model post-COVID-19. And so if you've done the homework, which I have to commend again, Launch Lab was really key for us to really formulate our our product market fit and our business model and our go-to-market strategy. And so if those things are you've done kind of the work, and it's hard work, we all know that, and it's a lot of trial and error, and it's a lot of pivots, and it's a lot of you know uh, kind of taking small risks and doing them iteratively. If you've done all that, I think that you should feel good about that, and that you should feel confident that we'll make it through this together.
Hmm.
Now, there's the short-term issues of, well, how do you manage payroll? How do you, help your customers through this? And it's going to be different for each company and each founder's circumstance. So I don't want to pretend to know the answers to that. But I
Mhm.
think that a couple things that we've done. One is this is a time to stay hyper communicative. Don't, just because we're all working from home doesn't mean that we can all retreat back into maybe less communication. I think that
Right.
it requires more communication because we don't have those in-person opportunities to meet and connect, not only with our own staffs, but also with our contractors, consultants, and especially our customers.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that we've done, our go-to-market strategy is to really focus on senior communities because some people call them retirement communities, but it's independent assisted living communities where there are 100+ units because there's a concentration for us and a density of trips and customers. And we partner with those senior communities to be their chauffeur of choice.
Right.
And so with those communities, we've reached out to them right at the beginning and throughout this process to work with them because, again, their residents, who are our customers and our riders, are the most vulnerable population to COVID-19. We've done a number of things. One is that we have converted a lot of grocery trips that we were taking those seniors to the grocery store. We now actually do grocery delivery. We're not a food delivery business, but we've pivoted, at least in the short term here, to if we can reduce 5 to 10 exposure opportunities for these seniors, and most of our riders are 75+ years old. So not only are they, in that vulnerable state, they're actually folks who use walkers and are immunocompromised. So if we can reduce 5 to 10 grocery trips by consolidating into one grocery pickup that we can do and then bring it back, that's great. And we started doing that. We also have, in order to keep our care drivers busy, our care drivers are independent contractors similar to more like a Uber or Lyft model. We want to keep them busy because there's a cost to retaining them, or there's a cost to recruiting new care drivers, and we've helped to background check and paid for their training. And so there's an inherent benefit it's a win-win if we can keep them and then they can still get paid through this period of time. So we've partnered with Meals on Wheels for them to do meal deliveries.
Wow.
And then we've also partnered with a number of smaller nonprofits here in the Twin Cities that have food shelves and are getting those out to their clients who can't either afford or are not able to get to the grocery store. So we're doing food shelf deliveries as well. And we've been lucky enough that we're in a position where we are able to do that on a free basis. So we're not charging these nonprofits for the care drivers time and effort to do that. We're paying them, the care drivers, and then we're just providing as a service, a free service to these nonprofits.
Wow. That is really remarkable. That's really understanding and knowing your customer, and then also taking care of the people that are supporting you. And then, I mean, it's just all in all, just really cool. Last question would be, what resources, like what is something like a book or a tip or a hack? What's a resource that you would offer up to somebody in this community? Just something to look at or read or learn during this period of time?
Great question. I would say the biggest one, if you haven't either read about it or applied, if you're a founder and you're doing a startup and you already are in business or at least providing some level of service, is the SBA's Paycheck Protection program. It's a wonderful program in that it's a forgivable loan. It can pay up to 2.5 months of your payroll, as well as lease or office space and utilities, so cell phone bills and that kind of thing. It covers all of that. So in many ways, there's never a free lunch out there, but this is as close to free money in this crisis as you can get. So if you're in that situation where you have that need and have payroll to cover, I would highly recommend that everybody out there look at that program and apply for it as soon as possible, because I think it was opened up. The floodgates were opened up last Friday, and I think that there's a huge rush of applications. That, from a business standpoint, I'd say that that's probably the number one, because it's quick and it's easy, and it's supposed to be kind of a short-term, quick injection of some
Yeah.
money into the business.
Wow.
From a founder's perspective, from a personal perspective, I would say self-care is super important. And I would say, if you're a solo founder, if you've got family, uh, spend some time with them. Try to use this downtime as maybe an opportunity to spend some quality time with the people that you love.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, if you have a business partner, definitely do what you can to support each other, because in the end, we're all going to come out of this together, and we still need to make sure those relationships are strong.
Totally. Well, I appreciate all that. And I appreciate you coming on and giving us your words of wisdom and your time. Please let us know if there's anything we can do. Me personally, I'm not sure what I can do, but anything, I just really, really appreciate you offering this perspective.
Well, Will, I mean, you're doing these videos, you're doing these interviews. Kudos to you for helping to keep us all connected and to make our social distancing a little less of a strain on how we connect with each other, because we are people who innately are social beings. That's why we have cities, and that's why we have family units. We are creatures that thrive on connectedness and being social with each other and helping each other. And I really think that you and the Bunker Lab family are really helpful. I know that there are other resources that I found through Bunker Lab's websites that are resources, out to other opportunities as well. So Bunker's doing a great job. Keep it up. Just a huge shout out to all those other founders out there to hang in there. And if they wanted to get in touch with me, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm at JQ Doan on LinkedIn. And also our website is mobility, the number 4, all.com, and you can connect with me through there. Just super excited to get this behind us and to find a new normal, and really appreciate you reaching out to us, Will.
Of course. Thank you again, and thank you for all the great work you're doing.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
Thanks.
Ciao.
Bye, John.